You shouldn't be sitting so close.
No, I'll be right for a while.
Hi, welcome back to Christine's Health Affairs.
Health Affairs,
Yay.
this one. Welcome back to the channel.
Yeah.
We've just come back from Melbourne again.
I got a phone call 2 days ago from the oncologist. She said she'd been speaking to other oncologists and about my case, and they felt that I should go and have a PET scan. A PET scan is where they put a radioactive tracer inside you, or they use an IV. You have to sit on a chair for an hour and a half or so. I watched a movie. It was called Poms. It was really good.
I went shopping.
It was about an old bunch of old ladies getting into the cheerleader mode and entering a competition. And it just so happened that one of the ladies has cancer anyway as well. I've seen the movie before.
So when we last spoke to you, this appointment wasn't on the radar because our next trip to Melbourne was Friday morning
which is tomorrow
for the MRI. But the oncologist decided it'd be a good idea to get this PET scan.
They wanted to make sure that I don't have any cancer anywhere else in the body. So, yeah.
My understanding is that they inject something that travels through your body that cancer cells like.
Sugar.
So
Glucose.
the cancer cells absorb this, whatever it is, but it has a radioactive tracer with it. And so Christine's essentially radioactive now, and I will show you that in a minute.
And he's not supposed to be sitting so close to me.
No, I'm feeling a little sunburnt on this arm. Let me get my Geiger counter.
All day in my head I've been singing that song, Radioactive. And trust me, you do not want me to sing that song. So Chris has got himself a Geiger counter, not because of me. He's had it for a couple of weeks.
First of all, let's have a look at background levels. Can we see that? Oh, hang on.
Yeah, tilt it forward a bit.
There we go. So that's background radiation levels, which is reasonably normal, but it's starting to take off now, just being within 4 feet of Christine. And if I just get her to hold it for a minute, I'll move it back to the camera shortly. So I actually bought this because I did a video on how radioactive old watches were because of the luminous paint on the dials. Most of you would have heard about the radium girls, that a lot of them got cancer from the radioactivity, from the radium they painted on the dials. So, and I did a video on that, and this thing was really... She's overloaded it.
I'm dangerous.
Yeah.
Back away.
So look at that. It's gone off the scale, and there's an alarm going off.
You've never heard that before, have you?
No. I'm going to sit over here. But it's interesting that what they use is pretty potent. So apparently it works out of a system in about 6 hours or so.
The more water I drink, the quicker it'll flush out of my system. So about 6 hours or so, and I should be safe.
So moving away a bit, and it's dropped down.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that's amazing. And this thing works really well. So anyway, that's what's happening now. This was an unscheduled appointment, but the oncologist, and what's Grace's title? She's a
breast surgeon.
Specialist,
yeah.
Anyway, they decided it was a good idea to get this PET scan just to make sure that there's no cancer cells anywhere else. And it'd be nice to have that box ticked off. We don't expect any issues, but it's just good to have that.
We didn't expect any issues to begin with, though.
No, but...
So we didn't plan on going to Melbourne today. It was a bit of a pain to have to do that. We left at about 6:45 this morning and have been home for about an hour. And tomorrow we have to go back again. I've got to go and have 2 blood tests, and one of them I have to have the one for the breast cancer gene. I have to have 2 blood tests 10 minutes apart. I found that out today.
Right,
And then the other blood test just for normal bloods. Then in the afternoon I've got to go for a mammogram, and then on Monday we have to go back again, put the port in, and then I just found out this afternoon as well that we've also got to stay in Melbourne on Monday afternoon and have an ECG to check my heart after issues a few years ago. So I've had a bit of an overwhelming week, haven't I? It's been a bit much for me.
Someone did mention that it's a real flurry of activity at the start, and it's quite overwhelming. And we have our moments, don't we? But, we're just jumping through all the hoops as they present them to us and do all the tests. And Christine was worried about the PET scan because, like when everyone has a test, you worry that it could show up something bad. But what's the option? If you don't have the test and there's something bad, well, you're in a worse case. So, yeah.
I nearly bought a hat today.
It was
I've
cute,
never owned a hat in my life.
It was kind of a floppy bucket hat
cute.
thing.
Yeah,
so
it was like had a 20s vibe to it, didn't it?
yeah, a little bit flapper.
Yeah.
So look out for that.
Yeah, look out for this flapper chick. Going back on Monday to buy it, and hopefully he'll have a few other colours as well.
We will have a fair bit of time. It's fortunate or unfortunate, depending on which way you look at it, that the big Epping Plaza is right next to the clinic and the hospitals that we have to go to. So it's a large shopping centre. I spent a couple of hours today wandering around because I couldn't stay with Christine due to the tests. And even the guys that gave you the test left the room.
Yeah, it was interesting going in there for this procedure. They take you into this lead-lined room. You've got a semi-comfy armchair to recline in and a TV. Couldn't play with my phone or watch anything on my phone because they don't want any muscle movement. So for an hour and a half, you sit there and all you do is look at a TV screen, get a sore butt because it's not that comfortable. And they put a line into your arm, and then this tube comes through a hole in the wall, and then they feed the radiation into it that way. So they leave the room, you're stuck in there by yourself, and an hour and a half they come back, and then you go into like a donut.
Is this a lead-lined pillow?
Like a donut type of CT. It's like a CT scan, the big round donut thing. I'm claustrophobic, and I have to say this is the first time in my life I've actually handled this really well. So what I did, and it probably sounds a bit silly, but what I did was as soon as he had me on the bed and had me strapped in, it was like bondage. He had my feet, tied up and my arms tied up and everything.
This is a G-rated channel.
Come on, no, it's not. And so I was, strapped up like this, and the first thing I did when he was leaving the room was close my eyes, and he said he'd be about 20 minutes. And I did not open my eyes for that full 20 minutes because I knew that whilst on this bed I was going through this donut thing. And I did not open my eyes once through that entire time. Normally I'll have panic attacks. I'll start crying, I cry. And I just cannot cope with them. I've even had to be sedated before.
So that's a good strategy.
It is.
Just close your eyes, put yourself into a bit of a trance or just memories or sing a song or something.
I closed my eyes, and there's a song that I know from my childhood. It was just some silly little song. And all I did for the entire 20 minutes was just keep singing that in my head over and over and over again for the full 20 minutes. And I think I nearly heard myself snoring a couple of times, but I woke myself up because of the noise. Yeah, exactly.
I might suggest, though, a longer song like, American Pie, Bohemian Rhapsody, something that you don't have to sing 40,000 times.
Yeah, what's that one I like that Disturbed sings?
What was that?
There was
a Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah. With all the children, thousands of people. Who knows?
Sounds of Silence.
Sounds of Silence.
But that's still a short song.
Okay, but I don't even know the words. But
anyway,
if you're going to have...
There's a good distraction tip if you are claustrophobic.
Keep your eyes shut. You do not want to open them up if you're claustrophobic, you do not want to open your eyes up whilst you're in this donut ring and just see darkness around you. It's not a good feeling.
I'm sure many of you have been through that. And if you are claustrophobic, let us know what your distraction...
what's your technique?
Yeah, there'd be techniques. I know my dad didn't like them at all. He actually told them to stop. He had to get out at one stage, Yeah. I haven't had one for a long time. I don't know how I'd go.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to try and use this technique when I have the MRI on Monday tomorrow, because I'm even worse with an MRI. Am I still radioactive?
Yeah, I'm getting sunburned here. I think I might have to leave. Do we have anything else to report?
No. Chemo starts on Wednesday.
Chemo starts next Wednesday.
6 days' time.
MRI tomorrow.
Yep, and then that's Friday, and then on Monday we've got 2 other appointments.
And we will be in the shop for 2 days over the weekend.
Saturday and Sunday, yeah. So we've got a couple of our YouTube viewers are coming to visit us in the shop on the weekend, so we're looking forward to that.
Yeah. And we're still trying to keep videos out on our other channels, which most of you will be aware of, and we appreciate all the support. I got a super thanks from someone I got a letter,
and wisely this time, I opened up the letter, not on camera, because that way you wouldn't catch me crying. I'm just going to get it.
Oh, okay. I'll just talk amongst myself. I cannot believe the level of radioactivity that, I mean, it's much more stronger than any of the watches I tested, but I guess the difference is it passes through the system fairly quickly, whereas the danger with a watch with radioactivity is when you take it apart, you've got the dust that you can breathe in, and then it's with you all the time. So hopefully this passes well. They did say you shouldn't be near pregnant ladies for
Yes.
6 hours or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Luckily I'm not pregnant.
And you're not a lady either.
Fail on 2 accounts.
Like Coco. So I got a card the other day, or we did, and it's a picture of 2 otters on the front, and it says, "You're utterly amazing." I love it.
That is cute.
And I did mention I'd prefer humour to tears. Dear Christine and Chris, the lady asked for humour, and I certainly did. Love to you both, and especially Hannah. So Hannah's my mum. She's done a couple of videos with me on my other channel. So that was really lovely.
Who was that from?
It wasn't signed.
Yeah, I think
it was Joan, wasn't it?
It was Joan,
Joan.
yes. Yes.
So I think Joan was in the shop last weekend. But thank you so much. Loved the card and the humour. Thank you.
Great. We'll have to start a wall for all the cards.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
2.
Well, I said we'll start. So I think that's it for now.
Yep.
We haven't got a sign off. Did we work on a sign off?
No.
I think we're going.
Oh, we did.
We're going to do something like we can't do the 2 Ronnies where I say it's good night from me and you say it's good night from him.
Yes, we did work on a sign off.
We did actually have one. Did you write it down?
Cancer's tough, but so are we. Catch you next time.
That's a good one.
What do you reckon? See you next time. Bye. Should we say goodbye?
Say bye.
Bye.
Look over there.
Say goodbye.